Hello everybody and welcome! This is CDS here, bringing you the first video in my new Pokemon Colosseum Let's Play. Okay, so, to get things a little bit started here, hold on, gotta fiddle around more with some settings here. There we go. Anyway, so by very surprising popular demand, Colosseum was the winner of the poll that I posted a few weeks prior to the recording of this video, or the upload of this video, for the next Let's Play that will be taking place since Emerald has now been completed at the time of this upload. I've only uploaded part 5 of Emerald by the time of this recording, though, so, whatever. Anyway, so I do have a previous save file, but we are going to be getting rid of that. I already backed it up, so we're good. A couple of things I will address. As with all of my Pokemon Let's Plays, I will be using Pkhex. Now, there is going to be a little bit of a difference when it comes to using Pkhex with Pokemon Colosseum. As many of you people will know out there, many of you guys and gals, I don't want to say you people because people might think I'm saying something wrong, but as many of you will know, in Pokemon Colosseum and Exeggutor Darkness, the way to obtain new Pokemon is by capturing shadow versions of Pokemon, which are essentially corrupted Pokemon that have been forcibly controlled to betray their owners. I don't really know. Basically, their hearts have been closed off, which makes them unstoppable killing machines. I'm also going to have to frickin' change the video quality of this, because I actually have this running at 2x resolution, but it's also lagging due to the recording, so I'm probably going to have to reduce that in a second here. Rather have this play out first. It's not majorly lagging, but it's lagging by a couple of frames, and it is noticeable for me. But anyway, so yeah, since the game has a series of shadow Pokemon that you use, the way that you get them to become normal Pokemon is by purifying them. Now, you don't even get the ability to purify Pokemon until after you've gone through the entire first third of first quarter or so of the game. I have to get all the way through the entirety of Pyrite Town and the little cave system beyond it before I can purify anybody. And you do start off with a Espeon and an Umbreon. Now, these Pokemon will always be male. Now, if you guys know anything about how I typically play a Pokemon game, I like playing with female Pokemon. That's just kind of my preference. So when I use Pkhex, which will probably be the first place after this video, I will be changing the genders and the natures of both of my starter Pokemon. Just to make clear one more time, though, you cannot obtain Espeon and Umbreon as female in this game. They are coded to always be male. So you can always verify that by doing a quick Google search, but I remember searching that up years ago when I kept trying to soft reset for female ones and I never got them, so I was very confused and I figured that out. Also, because of the fact that the shadow Pokemon cannot even be purified until after the first few hours of the game, I will be pretty much exclusively using Espeon and Umbreon for the vast majority of the first parts of the game. That's probably the reason why they start you off with both starters, instead of just sticking with just one Pokemon, for example, in the sequel of Exeggutor Darkness. Now, I was actually going to do XD first, but I'm actually really glad that you guys voted for Colosseum first, because Colosseum is technically the game I have the longer history with, because as I will explore further along in this adventure, Colosseum is my actual start to the main RPG mechanics of the Pokemon series. I played Colosseum before I played any of the main series Pokemon games, and before I even played Exeggutor Darkness, and it is one of my favorite Pokemon games alongside its sequel XD, and definitely, I don't believe this game gets as much praise as it deserves, and I definitely can tell you it gets more flack than I feel it deserves, but I will again address those points as I go along the adventure. Also, another note to make. Because purifying shadow Pokemon is a very time-consuming and annoying process, none of my purification will be done on screen, with the exception of occasional actual purification at Agate Village in the Celebi area thingy, which we will get to much later, probably 7 episodes down the line, maybe longer. But yeah, I will also be altering movesets. I'm not going to be changing anything to something that Pokemon can't naturally learn, but with the extremely limited amount of TM machines in this game, with the extremely limited amount of moves in general, and the fact that most Pokemon do not start off with very good abilities or moves, there will be alterations done via the Pkhex. If you guys want to know a detailed explanation on how to use Pkhex Pokemon Exceeded of Darkness, I do, or Colosseum rather, I do have a video on that, which I will probably leave in the description of this video, just as a start to kind of promote that a little bit better. And in case you guys want to see, just go ahead and look it up on my channel as Pkhex Pokemon Colosseum Tutorial. Okay, so in this first part of the game, we need to figure out what the fuck is going on in front of us. These two dickheads have decided to kidnap somebody in a burlap sack, and I'm not really sure why, at first anyway. Oh, and get used to the very awkward, stilted animations where everyone turns on a fucking turnstile. It's kind of a commonplace thing here. And it does take us a little bit to even be able to get to a place where we can save the game, because that is the number one thing that I will criticize Pokemon Colosseum for, and it's the fact that unlike literally every other Pokemon game, including its sequel, you can only save at a Pokemon Center PC device. You cannot save from the main menu, as is the case in every other Pokemon game. Now, for me, since I started with Colosseum as an RPG Pokemon game, I didn't really mind this. But it, however, does make it very annoying on repeat playthroughs, since I have now played, since then, every other game in the series as far as the RPGs are concerned, including the Mystery Dungeon series, which does have a save point issue, but it's a little bit better handled than this even. This game handles save points in a very similar facet to the Metroid Prime series, and the Metroid series in general, where they are scattered across the map in various specific locations, and you have to travel to those locations to save your game. It is annoying, but nothing that I'm really going to lose any sleep over, because, again, I have almost 15 years experience with this game, because I've been playing this game since middle school, and it is 2020, and I am 25 years old, so that's a long fucking time ago. But either way, in this game, like I said, Shadow Pokemon are the main thing that we are doing here. The machine that is on the left side of our character's arm, who is canonically known as Wes, he is a Shadow Pokemon thief, essentially. But we'll get more information on that later on. And this young lady will be accompanying us for the entire game. And she is essentially a glorified tour guide, or actually, I could probably refer her more to, how do I put this? She's basically like an interpreter for our character, since our character does not speak, as is the commonplace in Pokemon games. But, as far as a name for her, I've always been impartial to anime names. Probably my favorite character in anime, female character anyway, would be Hinata from Naruto, which is typically what I name this character. Plus, I don't know, I just like the way the name sounds. But either way, so now we have Hinata, and she is a permanent tag-along, and I don't really like it, but whatever. Her main and only real duty, besides being an interpreter for Wes, or in my case, my name, Kevin, she is the person who will find the Shadow Pokemon and tell you which one they are, because she has some sort of weird special sense that allows her to see the malice in a Pokemon to realize when its heart has been closed off. So yeah, Hinata became our partner, and onward! Okay. Well, hold on. Give me 1 sec. I'm actually going to go ahead and pause for just a moment so I can lower the visual fidelity just so that I don't have as much lag. 1 sec. Okay. Not much. I lowered it from 2x resolution to 1.5x resolution. Just a little bit of a change. Also, we do, as you can see, we only have 4 options in our menu. For some reason, exit is an option despite the fact that the B button does exactly the same thing. We are starting off with a couple of items, which is good. We have at least 2 of every healing item, plus 7 separate potion items. We will be acquiring more items as we go along, obviously. And there will be a glitch that I will be taking full advantage of, that I will get into once we start capturing some shadow Pokemon. But first we go over to the mayor's house and see the obviously not evil gentleman in the fucking flowing silver hair, red eyes, and purple jumpsuit. Yeah, this is Naskur. We will be seeing him a lot later on. If you couldn't tell, he's evil by the fact that he has fucking silvery flying hair and purple fucking jumpsuit. I don't know what to tell you. Go ahead and grab some super potions over here. We will definitely be needing those later on. Although, again, Pkhex will pretty much make a lot of those things obsolete. And here we have the bumbling fat mare with the cotton ball stuck to his head. Hello. Oh, you must be travelers. Welcome to Phoenix City. I am Escade, the mayor. Now, you wanted to see me. Is there something that I may be able to assist you with? Oh? What may I do for a pretty young lady like you? I saw it! Saw it? What did you see? I saw a peculiar Pokemon. No, that's not quite right. What I saw was a Pokemon that gave off a black aura. I don't like how they say black aura. Anyway, it was like a frightening machine. It was like a fighting machine, not a frightening machine. And that Pokemon would attack people. You say that? Oh god. Oh my, Pokemon like a fighting machine and it attacks people? Yeah, that doesn't, Now if that were true, that would be truly frightening. However, it is a little hard to believe. Yeah, it's no secret this guy is the final baddie. I'm not even gonna fucking worry about not spoiling that. This guy is the bad guy at the very end of the day. And he keeps hitting on what I can assume is a young girl in her teen years, probably late teens, 16, 17 years old. God knows how old our character is, though. I'd probably peg him more like 19 or 20, with the main character, Yuki or Rui? Whatever the fuck her name is. Okay, so now we have to do something. This part of the game always confused me slightly. I believe I have to go up here first. And then I have to check if I can challenge the Pkhex Stadium, which you cannot challenge the Pkhex City Stadium until you have at least 6 Pokemon. Or you can't challenge them if you have Shadow Pokemon, but we'll get into that later. Then we leave and we get confronted by the Balding Men. With these weird fucking earpiece thingies that I can only imagine are some sort of communicator. It's basically the Chinese Mafia in a sense. They are Team Snag'em. Their entire goal in life is to steal people's Pokemon. Why does everyone keep hitting on this clearly teenage girl? You guys are all old skinhead bastards. Yes, I was part of Team Snag'em, but I am no longer with them. I left them and I took the snag machine so I could rescue Pokemon and become a hero. Or more like I just didn't like how their politics was. They never served good food, and every time that I wanted to have a fucking... Never mind. I was gonna go somewhere with that, but it fucking crashed. Anyway. So these creepy bastards challenged me to a battle because that is the way that we solve all of our problems in the Pokemon world. By throwing our mechanical and chemical creatures at each other and having them shoot lasers and tackle each other until one of them dies. Or faints, quote unquote. But yeah. So I will be altering everybody after this video. There will be at least 2 shadows I'm going to be catching before the video ends. And also, I will be doing all of the... I will use Pkhex to basically instantly purify everybody, because I really do not like wasting my time with purifying. Because in this game in particular, purifying Pokemon takes forever. I remember very clearly in my first run of this game that when I was trying to purify Makuhita, which, spoiler obviously, is the first shadow that we obtain, I did not fucking purify it until damn near the end of Pyrite Town's little side quest thing. That was very frustrating, so I didn't really want to go through that again, which I'm not going to now, so yeah. Annie Cooper. We gotta get these guys out of our way, because I'm tired of dealing with... So that's actually 3 uninterruptible battles. They're basically railroading me right now. Something you will also know very quickly about Pokemon Colosseum. Also, this is cute. You're my gallant prince who rescued me when I was in trouble. That's cute. Besides, I do something after listening to those creeps. Listen, Kevin, would you go shopping for some Pokeballs? So, wild Pokemon are not a thing in this game. There are no wild Pokemon. There are no routes to walk between. Pokemon Colosseum is a much more... Well, it is a much longer game than many of the main series games as far as the main plot is concerned. It is also a much more barren game. The only way to obtain new Pokemon is to capture the Shadow Pokemon, but there's a catch. Unlike every other Pokemon game before this, there is a very, very strict limit to how many Pokemon you can have. You can only have... There are a total of 48 Shadow Pokemon in the entire game, along with your Espeon and Umbreon, and then 2 Gift Pokemon. You can only have a total of 52 Pokemon in the game, which means that you only have 3 boxes through the entire adventure to use in Pokemon Colosseum. You can have no more than 90 Pokemon, although technically no more than 52, unless you use cheat codes or Pkhex to give yourself more Pokemon. I will not be adding anything extra. I will be sticking strictly to the Pokemon that you can obtain in-game, although the options are insanely limited and it is quite frustrating. I will be sticking with the constituents of what is currently available in the game. And also, there's a good portion of the Shadow Pokemon that are post-game after the final boss, as well as the final boss themselves being a boss rush before you fight them. So there's also that. Alright. So here, this guy is telling us that they don't have Pokeballs, but there are some abandoned ones, because apparently the Ori region has no Pokemon that exist in the wild. My main assumption here would be that the Ori region was a region that is, like, under the construction of rebuilding or something like that. It's kind of hard to tell. But anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and buy some Great Balls as well. And I'm only going to buy 5, and you'll see why very shortly. We're going to go ahead and capture the first of the Shadow Pokemon, which is pretty much a worthless piece of garbage, because I don't really like Makuhita. I mean, Hariyama's okay, but Makuhita is a pile of crap. Oh, and now our sidecar is for Hinata instead of our Espeon and Umbreon, so... Our trusted partners that we have had since God knows when have been replaced with some random redhead girl with pigtails. Oh well. Alright, so there's some creepy bastards that are attacking people, so let's go ahead and fight those creepy bastards and keep them from attacking people. I'd also like to address something small as well. These episodes will probably be around the length of my Pokemon Sword Let's Play. Around 30 minutes or so. This episode will probably be a little bit longer, given the exception here, just because the very first part of the game is a little bit difficult. Also, this, yes, is Mirror B from XDL Darkness, originated in Colosseum. God damn, I hate his design in this game. Although his afro is still very coiffed and excellent. Model quality's not very good in this game, but whatever. Also, these 3 gentlemen to his left... Hold on. Wait. We will be getting a very good earful of that theme later on. It is my favorite theme in the entire Pokemon Colosseum game. I love Mirror B's theme. Oh, we'll be fighting those Power Rangers in a minute, by the way. Well, more specifically, one of them. Ugh. But I will get to that momentarily. First, we have to get rid of Folly and Trudely. Again. Oh well. So yeah, that makes 4 forced battles in the first 20 minutes of the game. They really want you to be more prepared for the first part of the game because of... there's not a lot of trainers that we can fight until we get to Pyrite Town, where we can actually start acquiring more shadows. So the essential parts of the first stage of the game of just getting to the point where we can find the fucking shadow Pokemon is really the longest part of the game as far as a single section is concerned. Why would you use a Ghost-type move on a Dark-type Pokemon and do literally 1 damage to... Nah, whatever. NPCs are stupid. Who cares? Now, unlike some other games, well, actually, more specifically, unlike any Pokemon game, with the exception of XD Darkness, capturing Pokemon is the name of the game here. So every Pokemon battle is going to be a little bit tricky when it comes to trying to obtain the Shadow Pokemon, because, unfortunately, which we will find out in this next battle, the Shadow Pokemon are technically on a timer, which is really annoying. But we will go ahead and let Trudely show us what I am talking about momentarily. Because he, for some reason, is the one with the shadow. I'm going to end up like Folly. Trudely. I really would like to know what the naming scheme of this game is and where it came from. Also, Spinarak and Duskull are probably the worst Pokemon you could have thrown against me, considering one's a poison type, which is weak to Psychic, and the other's a Ghost type, which is weak to Dark, both of which types I'm very good at using. Pokemon XD, or Pokemon Colosseum rather, has a very dark overtone compared to its successor, which I do believe XD is a far superior game, but that's more to do with the greater options you have rather than the game actually being mechanically better, although that's also an improvement. But yeah, her entire purpose is to show us Shadow Pokemon. Black aura coming from it. They must have done something to that Pokemon. Punch! Be careful, this Pokemon isn't afraid to attack people. I know, I hate to say this, but there's no other choice. Get that Pokemon back from the bad guys. Please, you have to. You can. Actually, only you can do it. Of course, only I can do it, because I'm the only one here with any sense of competence. Because you're clearly not a trainer, and you don't fucking try to help me at all. Dumb witch. Anyway. Okay, so I'm actually going to hit that Makuhita with Secret Power. Now, as I'm doing this, let me explain. Shadow Pokemon have a move known as Shadow Rush, which is a 90 base power move with 100% error, 90% accuracy, something like that. That does a small bit of recoil damage. That is the biggest difference between Shadow Pokemon and regular Pokemon, besides the fact that you can obtain them through Pokeballs capturing from the trainer themselves. Now, the problem here is that due to Shadow Rush's recoil damage, the Pokemon are on a fucking timer. Which means you only have so many turns to catch the damn thing, which makes it all the more irritating when you realize that you are far from a fucking save center, and you have to restart the game in order to get a second chance of catching them, otherwise you have to wait until post-game. Now, fortunately enough, Makuhita is pretty easy to catch, and this is where I will show off the reason why I only got 5 Great Balls. There is a glitch in this game that allows you to use infinite Pokeballs no matter how many times you have thrown them. You will simply take your first Pokemon, whichever one is highlighted first, go to your items, go to the Pokeball, use the Pokeball on the Pokemon. You must have at least 2 different types of Pokeballs in your item slot to do this. Then go to your second Pokemon, go to items again, hit the X button to switch the item with the other Pokeball item, press B, and then basically do any other task with the second Pokemon, doesn't really matter, and then you will basically clone the Pokeball permanently. This will prevent you from ever losing a Pokeball, and once you get the Master Ball, this will be a very useful tactic for the end stages of the game. This is the reason why I got Great Balls, so that I could have 2 different types of Pokeballs at once. I don't exactly know how this glitch came to be or where the oversight came from, but I don't really care. It's pretty cool anyway. Alright. So now we have wiped the floor with these nincompoops. And we shall move on. Also, Hinacha wants to cheer for us for some reason, but okay. And to prove that the Pokeball is still there, we can go back to the items, and you can see I still have 5 Great Balls. Like I said, this will be very useful later on when we obtain the Master Ball, because it will allow us to capture the last of the Pokemon very easily. Now, real quick, there are 3 exits to Phoenix City. The one here, which is guarded by this guy here. There's one on the right, which is guarded by this gentleman here. And then there's one on the south, which is the entrance point. Each of these 3 Guardian guys have one of the middle stage of the Johto starters. The green guy has Bayleaf, the red guy has Quilava, and the blue guy here has what I'm going to be choosing, which is Croconaw. Personally, because I prefer Feraligatr over the other 2 starters. Nothing wrong with Meganium and Typhlosion. I just like crocodiles more than I like brontosauruses or echidnas, I guess? Hard to really tell what the hell Typhlosion is. I don't know what the other guys' names are. Oh, by the way, make sure you decide which of the starters you really want ahead of time, because otherwise, you're not going to be able to capture the other 2 until post-game. Just letting you know that now. So choose wisely, because until you beat the game, you cannot get the other 2. You'll be able to get Shadow Bayleaf and Shadow Quilava, but yeah, it's going to be a while. So choose wisely, in which case I always prefer to choose Croconaw, because when I first played the game, I actually chose Bayleaf, not knowing I could fight the other 2. But I have since learned from the error of my ways. Also, fucking... Shadow Rush is not the only thing that the Shadow Pokemon can use, however. They can use their other 3 moves. But when you capture the Shadow Pokemon, they will not have access to their 3 other moves. Which is really fucking stupid, but whatever. Also going to protect my Pokemon a little bit here, because Reflect is... Shadow Rush is classified as a physical move, no matter what the opponent is, and it is neutrally effective against every Pokemon type, so there's... Whoa. That did more than I expected. But yeah. I might actually end up having Espeon die if I get hit with another one of those. Oh, Torment. Just what I wanted. Thank you. Okay, so I'm kind of having an issue here. I'm going to sack a fucking Great Ball here. I need to heal up my Espeon, because she'll die. He'll die. Whatever. Like I said, I'm going to change their gender when I get to using Pkhex, and please don't take that the weird way. I just like the color red more than I like the color blue, that's all. Plus, I think the female sign just kind of looks prettier by my objective viewpoint. Or subjective viewpoint. Yeah, of course it's subjective. Subjective viewpoint. Alright, I can't use that twice. Oh, why did I use Helping Hand? I meant to use Return to get this over with faster. Oh well. Yeah, after this video I will be changing up some things. Probably going to give Espeon and Umbreon, well, vastly better moves. I'm also not going to be limiting myself to TMs that are available in the game itself. I'm going to give them whatever moveset I want that they can naturally learn in the games that they're in. That goes for every Pokemon. So, for example, my Croconaw will be getting moves like Ice Beam and Waterfall, which are moves that it can actually learn, but moves that it can't learn in-game. Well, Ice Beam it can, but not Waterfall. Particularly Waterfall, because Surf hits both targets and does half damage, but it already knows Surf when it starts out, and I really don't like using Hydro Pump if I don't have to. Mostly because of its lower power points and its lower accuracy. But now that we have taken care of these fuckheads in here, I'm going to go ahead and heal, but I'm not going to end the video just yet. I'm actually going to get to Pyrite Town before we end this video. And then I'll go ahead and save in the next town. It takes a bloody half hour just to get to the first town, but at least we have 2 shadows to accompany us along the journey. Oh, and I will be altering genders, natures, and all that on every Pokemon, not just my Espeon and Umbreon. So be aware that things will look different as I progress through the game. And for some god reason, we need to fucking stop here first, which is weird. But this is going to be the area where the final boss will be. So keep an eye on this area. We'll be coming back here at least 2 more times before the game is finished. But we also have to stop off there just to let us know, hey, guess what? This is a thing. And then get to Pyrite Town proper. Pyrite Town is a town basically run by thugs. The entire town is a rundown shack somewhere in between a fucking desert and mountain cliff. Which are 3 pieces of objects in nature that don't really work together. Anyway, there's plenty of Shadow Pokemon, and get used to this area, folks, because we're gonna be here for a long time. Okay, but I'm gonna go ahead, because I think there's a fucking PC in here. Oh, we gotta talk to the fucking... this guy. Forgot about that. Oh yeah, Johnson, you idiot. Hi. Huh? Chief? You're not the chief. I beg your pardon. I'm here, Johnson. That story isn't new. I've heard about it over and over already. Yeah, that's kind of a running shtick with these characters for some goddamn reason, and I don't really know why. Also, make sure to come back here later, because there's actually plot in this area a couple of times. We'll be getting a key later to open up the cells, and no, that doesn't really matter right now. Plus, there's going to be an item here, too. But I'm going to go ahead and call this an episode here. So, as I stated, I will be using Pkhex in between videos, pretty much every video, damn near, to give myself more options and whatnot to make this game more fun for me. So, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys have any ideas for content, please leave your suggestions in the comment section down below or on my Twitter page, @SoDiarist. And until next time, this has been ZDS, making it for fun one video at a time, and I will see you guys in the next video.